I'm going to be talking a lot this quarter about writing as process. Basically, this just means you can't just bang out an essay right before it's due and expect it to be any good. That is not how writing works. You need to brainstorm, draft, evaluate, revise, and reflect to go through the full process. And before you even get there, you need to establish what we call the rhetorical situation. That's a fancy way of saying the circumstances under which you are writing. To help figure this out, there are a series of questions that you need to ask. First, what is my purpose? You can write to entertain, to inform, or, as you will be doing in this class, to persuade. You need to understand your purpose because it will affect what information you include and how you present it. Second, you need to ask, who is my audience? You're not going to tell a story the same way to your mom as you do to your boss. Audience is going to affect what you say and, importantly, how you say it. For our purposes in this class, you will be writing for an academic audience. Think about it as the students, faculty, and staff here at the college. You need to consider what information you need to include and what you can leave out. For example, you might know everything there is to know about Game of Thrones. I, on the other hand, have never seen it. So if you jump straight into dragons and the politics of rule, I will be lost. You need to set it up for me first. Audience also affects the language that you use. For an academic audience, like the one you'll be writing for your essays, you want to sound very formal. You don't want to write like you speak, or even the way you'd write in a blog online. It shouldn't sound conversational. Instead, it should sound like you're giving a formal presentation to a room full of people in suits. Your writing activity for this week will focus on using language with different audiences, so if you have any questions, be sure to ask them now. The third thing you need to establish is the genre. What type of thing am I writing? Each of your essays will be a different genre with different rules. Think about like going to a bookstore or pulling up your Netflix queue. If you're looking for a romance and you turn on a horror movie, it doesn't really matter how good it is. It won't be what you're after. In the same way, if I assign a compare-contrast essay, and I will, and you write a narrative, you won't get a good grade because you haven't written the right type of essay. The next thing to consider is your tone. This is the language that you use. Again, for an academic audience, you want to sound very formal, authoritative, and professional. Keep your word choice elevated and don't address your readers directly. For most academic writing, the first-person pronouns I, we, our, etc. is not allowed. Finally, you want to consider your design, how the essay will look. For our class, we'll be using MLA, Modern Language Association, formatting. There's an example posted in the course resources module in your Canvas if you're not familiar with that style. Once you've established all of this, you can start developing ideas and writing your essay, and we'll go over that next week. The other important thing to understand this first week is reading critically. There's a checklist in your module that will walk you through the process. I'm a big fan of checklists, as you'll learn. I've also posted a grammar diagnostic for you to take this week. This isn't a test, it's just a quiz to help you and me figure out what areas of grammar you might need to work on. You can take it as many times as you like, and it's fully open book. If you need to review, I've posted 2 helpful links in your modules. As always, if you have questions, just ask. Because of the social distancing requirement, I'm not holding in-person office hours, but I will be available by phone or Zoom. You can find my office hours and the link to my Zoom office in the left-hand menu of your Canvas course. This isn't an easy class, but if you put in the work, you can definitely succeed.